Welcome back. It is exactly 19 after 8 o'clock, and we kick off with our first interview of the morning with Dr. Levy Ndou. He is a political analyst, and we are going to be talking about former President Thabo Mbeki having cautioned that the South African Communist Party could face a confrontation with the ANC if it chooses to contest the 2026 municipal elections independently. So let's understand what those repercussions would look like, not only for the parties concerned, but for us as South African citizens as well. Dr. Levy Ndou, a very good morning to you. Welcome to the program.
A very good morning to you, and indeed a very good morning to the listeners at home. Thank you for having me.
Okay, so Thabo Mbeki is concerned at a lecture recently. He's expressed his concerns regarding the SACP and the ANC. Let's understand what they would look like if they do come to loggerheads with each other in the upcoming local elections.
There are many factors that we need to look at. The first factor is that the ANC, the SACP and COSATU are in an alliance, and therefore it means that they share, to a certain extent, commonalities in terms of the constituencies, in terms of where they want to see South Africa going, and also in terms of the political program of action. But the decision now for the SACP to contest elections does not necessarily mean that, and it's emphasized by the SACP, that they're abandoning the alliance. They want to remain in the alliance, but what they're saying is that they will not be supporting the ANC in these elections because they will be contesting. One of the concerns that could be stemming from former President Thabo Mbeki is that we never had a situation where you could easily identify a member of the SACP exclusively outside the ANC. And therefore, it will mean that members of the SACP now have to be clearly identified as members of the ANC and indeed opposed to the ANC because they are contesting elections. And therefore, it will leave a number of those who are in the SACP to make a very clear line of distinction between being a member of the ANC and being a member of the SACP. And that in itself could be a source of confusion, specifically if you get someone who has been very much actively involved in politics and campaigning for the ANC, and suddenly this person is campaigning for the SACP. That could be another source of confrontation. But another thing that we need to look at is that just over this weekend, there was an announcement made by the SACP publicly that Gwede has been removed from the Central Executive Committee of the SACP. He could have violated some of the rules in the SACP, but with this kind of developments happening, some could perceive it as though Gwede is being purged by the SACP. That could also be some source of tensions between the two political parties. And of course, the campaign by the SACP would definitely be conducted in the traditional support base of the ANC. And that, in my view, and indeed which could have prompted the views of former President Thabo Mbeki, could be other sources of conflict between the ANC and the SACP.
So, Dr. Levy, let's understand how similar or different is this current scenario between the SACP and the ANC to the issue with the MK party and the president of the MK party still wanting to retain being the head of the MK party and wanting to still retain membership of the ANC. Is it two totally different issues here? And we are talking, obviously, of Zuma, who even threatened the ANC that he take the matter to court.
It could be similar to a certain extent. Um, when asked about dual membership of the ANC and the SACP, the emphasis by the SACP itself has been that indeed they've been doing dual membership on the basis of their historical relationship with the ANC. And now that we have to contest elections, that could be clearly articulated by both parties, in my view, because when you say you're contesting elections independently, you could actually be saying that you are no longer part of the programs of the ANC, and therefore you need to have your own parties that is totally different from the other party, which has its own programs, own policies that are different from those of the ANC. But also, if you look at the alliance between the ANC and the SACP, they appears to be talking about not killing the alliance, but also being able to continue working together even beyond the elections, meaning that if indeed you have the Communist Party having won certain votes or seats, when they go to government with the ANC, they'll still be able to work together. But when you look at the issue of Jacob Zuma and the ANC, the strategy by Jacob Zuma appears to be that of saying that now that he could not win politically within the ANC, he would therefore go out, participate in another political party in order to weaken the ANC, and therefore the ANC would have to go back to him begging because he still wants to see the ANC taking a particular position in terms of a number of issues that are confronting South Africa, including corruption. And if you look at the posture by parties like the MK party, their focus is mainly on being an opposition to the ANC of Ramaphosa and nothing else. So their approach, in my view, appears to be different. The Communist Party puts an emphasis that the ANC appears to not to be focusing on some of the programs as articulated by the alliance, and the SACP feels aggrieved, and therefore that's why they left to contest the elections. But another primary factor is that the SACP puts an emphasis that this has been a Congress resolution and they cannot do anything beyond a Congress resolution because it will also require Congress to rectify such. And my sense indeed is that this becomes a period of the crossroads for the alliance because it will require a new approach, a new reconfiguration to be looked at in the alliance, because indeed this decision of the SACP has serious implications on the future of the alliance.
Let's also talk about the SACP and obviously their value systems and what they're offering if they should break away from the ANC and stand as a party of their own. They are very bent on socialism. What would that mean for the electorate? And do you believe, given the current situation in South Africa, the issue around unemployment, the issue around lots and lots of poor people, education, etc., will the Socialist Party be able to appeal to that group of people and the impact it will then have regarding the local elections? And then if the SACP stands on their own, will they be able to deliver on promises made?
It's important to note that even during the 1994 general elections, the first democratic elections in the country, political parties have always been talking about job creation because even before the dawn of democracy, there were challenges of unemployment in South Africa. And that's why the ANC came with one of the big slogans saying that jobs for all, because there were no jobs that were being created at the time. And my view is that now that we've got the government of national unity, the challenges of unemployment has not been addressed since the formation of the government of national unity. And we need also to acknowledge the fact that in the government of national unity, you've got different political parties in government. And it will be an opportunity not only to blame one party, but to say most parties are there in government, but we still have the same challenge. The SACP appears to be coming up with the very same rhetoric of job creation and indeed building a strong and resilient economy that will be able to create as many jobs as possible. We still need to wait and see how ordinary citizens are going to respond to the call of the SACP, and especially when they are getting into the fray when we are approaching local government elections. Notable issues, in my view, that the SACP has to focus on is that the SACP still has to establish um, notable branches in the different wards. The SACP still has to ensure that they've got candidates who will be easily accepted by different constituencies in the different wards. The SACP still has to make a firm decision if they want to contest elections in all the wards in the Republic of South Africa. And that will talk to their capacity to be able to organize all these wards in a space of a year, and also be able to provide financial muscle to their own campaigns and ensure that in every little ward they've got the resources that are put forward for these campaigns. They should also therefore be able to identify their own people, and of course not outside the ANC, or those who will not be identified by the ANC and therefore be identified by themselves. So there is a very, very huge task, in my view, ahead of the SACP. It's not just about contesting elections. It's about the capacity that the party is supposed to have that will make them relevant in terms of their ability to contest elections. Also, I expect the SACP to make their members choose between the SACP and, of course, the ANC because of dual membership. So members of the SACP who want to be part or to be identified as candidates, they should abandon their membership of the ANC and therefore focus on their membership of the SACP. And therefore, that would create a distinction between the members of the ANC and the SACP. So in my view, there's a lot of work that has to be done ahead, which will require the SACP to put their heads together in order to ensure that their campaign becomes relevant and indeed they are able to make a mark in the local government elections that are coming.
And that's where we leave it with I should imagine, the remark that the funding, who is going to fund the SACP, because normally big businesses do fund political parties, and would big business take the risk to fund this political party with a very strong socialist agenda? Interesting times ahead. We look forward to how that's going to play out, but we do thank you, Dr. Levi Ndou, political analyst, sharing your views on this topic. God bless and go well.
You're always welcome. Thank you so much.
It is 8:34. This is News and Views on Salam Media. Please do stay with us. Keep us company over the next 2 hours.